don't look outside myself for answers. I kind of feel like everyone has a voice of reason inside them, and I believe that's been quelled to a large degree.
So, if if we were going to be honest with ourselves, we also have to look at the axioms that we have in this belief system and question them to see if they're true or not. A person who commented on the Reddit thread on the last video I put up last week, he said that he had changed his type from being an ENTP to an INTJ. Now, I had the axiom of the belief that you type is more static, or like a person can change a lot, but they can't change so much within their own type that they actually transform into a completely different type. But actually looking at that axiom and questioning that belief, I felt freedom. I felt a release. Now, maybe functions that everybody has all the functions, and the personality is just the preference for particular functions, and over time these patterns of behavior get more and more internalized, put into stone or whatever, that it gives you a more like robust type. But for me to actually say that it's not possible to change into another type, I think is quite narrow-minded, because this is not a scientific field. Now, another thing that was brought up, because this person who claimed he had transformed from ENTP to INTJ, he was looking at the testing, that you this 16 personalities or whatever, that you're doing a test and you get your result. And of course I know from personal experience that tends to change with time. But it's because it's looking at behavior. It's not really actually looking at the functions, even though if maybe the test says it does, you're still looking at behavior, patterns of behavior. Otherwise, you couldn't measure it. I met an INTP friend now recently during my work shift, and he looked at the question, do you listen to the facts or your emotions? And his reaction to this question was, for me, my emotions are factual, which I thought was funny, because it was a very INTP way of looking at it. But these types of misunderstandings does happen in the testing, even though if you're taking the best test, you are interpreting the questions, therefore the result is more malleable. And those types of tests are based on the Ocean Big Five personality traits. That's where the letters come from. ENTP, those are the 4 letters, and the 5th one is turbulent or assertive, which is the 5 personality traits of openness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism, conscientiousness, all that shit. And what I am deeply engrossed in, it is the cognitional theoretical part of it, which is less scientific actually, because you can't really measure this type of stuff. It is It is based upon introspective observation and questioning and intuition. And also feeling. Well, there we go, a little bit. But the sensing part is maybe a bit lacking. So in order to look at the cognitional theoretical parts which Jung coined, we also have to look inside ourselves if this is true or not. And most people don't understand that there are these two different parts of MBTI who are largely unrelated to each other. But I still, even though he said he changed from an ENTP to an INTJ, I saw, well, you're looking at it from the behavioral side, and I think maybe it's just not the same. But when I'm looking at my own belief system, which MBTI is a belief system ultimately, I think it is possible to change type now. I do think it is very possible. It is hard to do, but it is something that maybe is desirable to do. Because our cognitive type is really a preference for particular functions during an elongated period of time that makes it more robust, expressing itself as a particular type. So I'm the ENTP personality type. According to most people's understandings of cognitive functions, I don't have extroverted sensing. But really, if we're going to look at it from the cognitional part and not behavioral part, how could you live life without extroverted sensation? How could you not look at the extroverted sensing world? Now, if I'm an ENTP, which I strongly believe that I am, I need to look at the outside world, right? Hello, otherwise I would be blind. But I have introverted sensing, not extroverted sensing, so how am I not blind? The reality of it is that we do have all 8 functions because we need it to function. But there are a particular type of, what could you say, preference for particular functions, and this manifests in your particular type. But I think it is more malleable than we think. I'm going into a lot into my introverted feeling now, and it is very strong. I do have strong introverted feeling, but I don't have a preference to it because I have more developed or stronger preferences for other functions. Another function that I feel I have very strongly, even though I am an ENTP, is introverted intuition, which also most people would say that I don't have. But what I am doing constantly is working on a theory of everyone in a very introverted, intuitive kind of way, looking at behaviors and generalizations and seeing if it can fit with everything and everyone, which I feel like this MBTI thing is. There really isn't any science to this. It is just mental observation. We observe in ourselves and in others how people function. And we relate that to the information that we take in. And we decide intuitively what is true or not. This is at least how I function with it. Because this is a belief system. So it is similar to religion. But there ain't really no prophets or priests here. Which makes us the arbiters of truth. Now, how much do we trust ourselves with this? Because it is very easy to, because it is a system, belief system, which means that it's very compartmentalized. Introvert sensing means this, extrovert sensing means that. An introverted sensing type, we put those in those little boxes, and they do love their little boxes, so I guess that's fine. But the extroverted sensors, we put that in those boxes, and maybe, yeah. When putting things in little boxes, especially when it's people, you cannot encapsulate a human being within 4 letters. You cannot encapsulate any real thing inside of a word. So when we are saying to ourselves constantly, I'm an ENTP, I'm an ENTP, I'm an ENTP, we are constricting ourselves, and we are identifying ourselves with the aspects of our personality that is already more robust than it should be. Yeah, it's frustrating, and I'm doing this video to ask questions more than give answers. I guess. I want us to question the MBTI community. I'm directing this primarily to the ENTP subreddit, but I'm probably going to post it on the MBTI subreddit as well. But I want us to ponder particular questions. Yeah. Thank you for listening. It really gave me, you gave me a lot of love on the last video, so I really do appreciate that. And if you like my content, let me know. If you disliked my content, also let me know what you disliked, so I can improve upon it, because I'm still very new to this. So yeah, thank you a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys another time.